The next question is from Mel Price, please.
Thank you. Good evening. Specific question regarding the additional funding being allocated in the budget to support the Kilvey Hill project. Given that the planning conditions imposed on this development have still not been satisfied, critically in relation to the land stability reports, Skyline have got a dire record with regard to land slips, as you know. No lease has yet been signed. Is it not extremely unwise for the council to commit more funds to this project? I think there's already been 3 million spent, with the possibility that the development will not proceed unless you've also predetermined the results of the stability report and the signing of the contract, as you did with NRW. Also, the depth of feeling for retaining the designated quiet area status within the locality. Would it not be prudent to ask for upfront sums from Skyline rather than giving and loaning the money to ensure that successful biodiversity improvements are in fact carried out, and the restoration works are completed should the venture fail, or when it is no longer an attraction and when the profits have been extracted? Are we risking making the same mistakes as with, for example, the ski slope and open cast mining in Wales, where the land has been left devastated and at risk of flooding? Thank you.
Again, thank you, Mr. Price, for the question. I think in terms of the presumption that there's something unique about proceeding with a development before all of the conditions have been met, that is not the way I understand the planning application was agreed, or that the conditions are structured. They are phased release of conditions as the development progresses, so conditions will need to be met as the development progresses, not everything being met prior to any start. So that's my understanding. It's not a conversation, Mr. Strider. I listen quietly to your question. Please do the respect of listening to the answer. In terms of the funding arrangements, again, it's not unusual for any nation or authority to seek to provide support for inward investment. It happens in lots of major cities. It happens in lots of places in the UK and around the world, whereby to get a company to invest in your locality, there is often an investment package that is created by governments to encourage that. And I'm very pleased that the Welsh Government are able to provide some money to support the growth of the tourism industry in Swansea. And obviously, as we've said previously, the Council's contribution is matched to the Welsh Government and part of a whole package of investment support with the Welsh Government. Of course, the difference being is that the Council's contingent elements would be repaid in full over the term, which is not the same for the Welsh Government elements. The final part I would say on that is, again, in terms of the suggestion of additional monies, whilst for pure accounting terms the money would look more, they are related to transactional details with other parts of government. And I know members will have had some briefing on this in terms of the confidentiality of the Council's commercial arrangements, but it is not money that is being provided direct to Skyline in terms of any additional costs that the Council would be bearing. It is about the land assembly, and again, given the commercial sensitivity around that in terms of what needs to be agreed, again, the additional sums that are quoted in there are ones that the Council will be recompensed for in part as a result of the arrangements that we put in place. So again, I'm sorry that I can't go further in terms of exact detail on that this evening, because we are still in the commercial aspects, still in the commercial confidentiality aspects of the project. But it wouldn't be right to say that the project costs are suddenly rising and therefore the council has to find more money to put in. These are related to land assembly and land transaction elements of the project, and again are related to other parts of government in and public sector in Wales. So I won't go further than that at this point.
Thank you, Leader. The next question is from Mr. Ben Houghton, please. Mr. Houghton, we are now into 20 minutes of public questions instead of 10, so if you can just keep it brief.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like to echo the residential view of the situation of Skyline. I know people don't have all the facts from both sides. So my questions are, Skyline, oh, and the other point would be like St. David said, look after the little things. And I know this seems nothing in the grand scheme of the budget, but the little things really matter. So I'm going to go into some detail now. Skyline uplift. Appendix C shows Skyline is raising from 8.1 million to 10.2 million. What is the additional 1.1 million in plain terms, and which financial year will this be spent, and what is it for? As we know, the NRW lease is finalised relinquishment, so those costs are dealt with, as you said, outside. This cost is, we don't know what it's for, what's going on, and why it's increasing. Just to make a point.
We'll answer that question first, Mr. Houghton, and then
Yeah.
we might have to give you written responses from there on. Thank you. Leader. Hogan.
Thank you, and thank you for the question, Mr. Houghton. I'll just refer you to the response I just gave to Mr. Price, I think it was. Sorry if I forgot, missed your name. But to the previous questioner, again, I'm not able to go further than I did in my previous answer. But at some point in the future, when we are out of the commercial confidentiality phase, I will be able to provide you with a much broader and much more explicit response.
Okay, Mr. Houghton, you'll have written responses to the rest of the questions, if that's okay, because we're way over.
2.1 million has nothing to do with the commercial lease. So can you answer the question as it's meant to be answered?
Mr. Houghton, you've had the response I'm able to give you, and I can't go further this evening.
Okay, incorrect answer then. Thank you.
Okay,
So
sorry, Mr.
borrowing
Houghton,
costs.
so written request.
Borrowing.
You need to have written responses to the rest of it because the question time is way over time.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Let me go. So borrowing costs. So what is the project's total?
Sorry, Mr. Houghton, I've told you you're going to get written responses. I need to carry on with the agenda. We've got a huge agenda in front of us tonight. We're already 20 minutes well into questions.
You just told me that I
you
could
have
read
written
them through,
responses.
and then you just cut that off. Because you said that I could read it through if I did it quickly, and you said one at a time, and now you're cutting me off.
I said, I've been advised to give you written responses to the next part of the questions, if that's.
Oh, that is interesting.
Right.
Well done.
Okay, thank you.